Stop video. Okay. Cool. Just get my chat window back open. All right, so I've got the chat window open on my second monitor. So hopefully all of you are looking at my Pinegrow, are you? Cool. All right. So the first thing I need to do whenever I look at a theme is so I'll come back over here. Where you go? Is I like to have a look at the different pages, so I can try to work out how I'm actually going to attack this and create it as a WordPress theme. So obviously, this is the going to be the home page. So the name Anthony Russell, that would be the site tagline. And this would be the that would be the site title. That will be the tagline, and then it's going to be a custom field, perhaps, to in the customizer to add in the email address, or what I would more than likely do if I was converting this to a theme, I probably wouldn't have it in there. I would just drop it. But if you want it in there, which I will leave it in there, it'll be a custom customizer. So I'm going to need a customizer section for this. Actually, that'll be the page content. Then I would create a custom post type for services. So that'll be one loop. Then I would create another custom post type for recent works. That'll be another loop. Then I would have a hero, call to action, sorry, which I would do in the customizer. How I would handle clients normally I would probably convert this to a widget, and then use a plugin to display a widget. Doing this in Pinegrow, I'm not going to do it because I haven't had a chance to play with it, but Imran, who I think it is, created an Our Carousel block for Pinegrow. So that would be perfect for in there. I know Our Carousel, I've used it before. So you could also add that in there. Another option would be adding a custom field to the user, creating a role, which is clients, adding that field to their logo, and pulling in your users, and just using a loop for users, which is also another way you could do it. That would be a convoluted way to do it, but that would be an option. So all from down here below, though, that is the footer. So this will be widgets, and then you would have the copyright details down here. So that will be the home page. If we flick over to the about page, so they've got like a widget on the left and then content, and it's a little bit of a different header. But if we go, so I'm not going to use that about page because that's just going to be left sidebar and right sidebar. And then we've got blog post. So I'm thinking that perhaps this whole column section here, instead of being, because these are just links to scroll through, instead of being a sidebar, maybe you open that up as a full width content. Because if I look at the post, it's very narrow in this. So I would probably open that up to be a full content and turn this into the page. And then we've got the blog post, which links all our blogs and the pagination and everything like that. Once again, it's a different header. So they're the same. That's different. So that's the same as that. And then the home is different again. So the blog is just doesn't have the email, which is what I was saying before that I would probably do for the home page. I'll probably make it that it was without that. So that's probably what I would make it look like. Does that make sense? You'd all do the same thing? Work out your plan of attack? Okay. So first, I'm going to open up. I want to make about. So that's going to be page and single blog index. So that's everything else is okay. I've just renamed about to the page. So first thing I'm going to do is open index though. And you wouldn't normally when you're hard coding things, you wouldn't have to worry about this so much. But because of the way Pinegrow works, when you want to split header, content, and footer, you need to have it in the middle section. So you could just drag this and nest this under there, and you'll see that doesn't ruin that footer. Or you could just grab another footer, drag that in, and nest both of these under there. Because what happens is when we click on, which we'll be doing shortly, we'll click on this and we'll go under WordPress. We'll be able to go, I can't remember what they call it, but it'll assign get header and get footer at the start and the end of this. So everything under this would be, so this would be the footer and the header.
So the content action, main content.
Sorry, I missed. There was a lot of noise then, so I didn't.
Sorry. Main content action.
Yeah.
Then create the header and the footer.
So if we left these out, that would be the footer, but then we'd have this underneath as well. So I just like to keep it all nice and clean and have it all nice and neat there. So then we can get under this project, we can go in and assign activate WordPress to it, and we can go and create our sites. Now, I am going to just check if I have. There we go. All right. Now the other, so now we've got WordPress. We'll just create our site. So this is a master page. I'm going to call this portfolio because that's what it is, a portfolio theme. Obviously, you can name it whatever you want. I'm going to go WCD underscore portfolio because WCD, that's what I prefix with because my company, my business is called West Coast Digital. So I'll open my theme folder, which I'm on Windows using WAMP. And I've got a sandbox here, themes, create a new folder, WCD portfolio. I always prefix this because then if I call this portfolio, could you imagine how many other themes are in the repository called portfolio? So it's always going to be looking for updates. It's going to say there's updates available because it's matching that URL. So make sure you prefix that. And that's done. So, all right. Now, a couple of things with WordPress. The codex is your friend. There are some classes that are looked for within WordPress themes, and one of them is the body class, which I'm just going to see if I can find that here. Nope. So I'm just going to go WordPress body class. Google that. So the body class adds a whole array of classes, so page ID, page template, logged in, and all these other different classes that a lot of plugins look for and rely on. So normally that's what you would have to type into the code. Within Pinegrow, all you need to do is click on the body, and then under the WordPress, click on the body class. And then if you wanted more classes, so you can see if I go edit this code, no, it's not going to let me. So you can see they have a body class of home in there. If you wanted to add that, you would add that in there like that. If you wanted to add an additional class. As it is, it will add it anyway under the PHP. But if you want to add other codes, that's what you would look for. The next thing we do is we click on the main content, and under there, that's where we get the site content, and that's where we get header and get footer. If we go to the WordPress codex and get header, so that's all we have to do is get header and a name of the header, which if you're only using one header, there is no name. That would just be blank, which would look like that. Get header. So if we look at the code for that, it's not going to let me, is it? No, it's not going to let me. Okay, so that'll have get header at the top and get header at the footer, which is not let me see that in the PHP there, I don't think. It's got, you can see it's loading the code there. Okay, so now we've defined that. We save that. I'm not going to export it yet. We will look at the site name. So in this case, we would just click on there, and we just go down and we get site name, and we'll replace the content. You can replace the whole element, but we just want to replace the content. The other thing we need to look out for is if we wanted this to link back to the home page, we would go down. I wish these closed as you had the option that as you open one, expanded one, the rest closed. We go down to links, and you can go the permanent, sorry, not the permanent, you can go down and get home URL, site URL. I just tend to use the href and just get it from there. So home URL. This one here, we just click on, and then we will go back up to our WordPress, up to site, and instead of get the site name, we just want the site description. And once again, we want to replace the content. Now, if we want to add in the email address, this is one thing I love about Pinegrow. Creating customizer functions are super quick and easy. We just go to the customizer. We'll create a section first where we want to nest this. I'm going to call this section header. That's all we have to do for there. Now we're going to add a control, and I'm going to give this email. Okay, and this is a email type. I'm going to show this in the section header. And then we're going to go down here and we go display, make sure we're clicking on that there. We'll go display theme mod. Where is it? There. And it was email. And we're going to replace the content. Now, the only issue is we need to replace the link as well. So the way I would do that is open it up in Atom, and I would edit the link in Atom there, because there is no link in here for a control or for email link. I know there is a way to do it within Pinegrow. Someone posted it before using a custom function. I can't remember where it is. Might be under miscellaneous. So if we had a function there, we could call it within there. So I would just directly edit this in Atom. So I'm going to go ahead and open Atom. And because Atom APIs into Atom APIs into Pinegrow. So we are doing index. And if we go up to our header, I can find it. So here it is. So if you go to the so we go mail to, and if we get the customizer function, so we'll go to the WordPress code, WordPress customizer. And if we go find where it displays, so you can see it is echo get theme mod blah blah blah. So I'm just going to copy that, and so mail to and PHP echo get theme mod, and did we call it email? Yep, email. And we don't need a default in there. So we're adding in our hyperlink in there. So then we can go in and save that. And that will automatically come over and display. And we reload. Okay. Oh, did I not save any of that? Dumbass. I didn't save my index. Did everybody see what I just did? I hadn't saved it in Pinegrow before I edited it in Atom. So when I went and reloaded, I lost all my, see, I've got no body class. I do. Oh no, I still do. I've got the body class. Why is there two bodies? No, just showing up as two bodies in Pinegrow. So yeah, all my customizer stuff didn't actually save. So let's start that again. Site name, links, ref, home URL, tagline, site description, customizer, and customizer section, header, customizer control, email, header, email. So there we go. So it's going to get the theme mod email in the mail too. So we're going to get our hyperlink working for emailing, and we're going to get the theme mod display there, which will be default Anthony Russell 24. So really, we could just copy that and pasted that in there within Atom. How nice would it be if you could actually edit the PHP within here? Anyway, so that takes care of that. We also wanted to add in our logo. So we've already got a section to add this in. So we're going to add in a control. And we're going to call this logo. And it is a media, and it is a image. I'm going to display this in the header. And then we're going to, now is it display? I don't think it is display theme mod, isn't it, with images? I think we've got to go to site and no, posts. Where is it? Where is it? Where is it? Where is it? It's in here somewhere. Attachment image source, and the customizer mod was logo. And then we want to do a size. So let's open this up. Let's see if there's a size in here. So no, there isn't. Let's open that folder here. Let's have a look at the assets, images. So it is, so the size of that image is 300 by 300. So if we go to the WordPress customizer, WordPress thumbnail size, not set post thumbnail size, post thumbnails. We can see that, so 300 by 300 is medium by default. So we're going to set that as our size. So we're going to set our size as medium. The last thing we want to do is our background image. And so we go to, once again, we go to our customizer. Does Pinegrow include a header background? I've never done it. I don't know. So we add a control, header, oops, no, background, image, and this will be media again, image, and we'll show this in the section header. And then we go up to the posts, and is it down here? Attachment image background, and I call it background. And we want to do this as large. So let's just check this. I'll go file save, and then I'm going to export the theme. I'm going to let's just check. I haven't started my WAMP. Okay. All right, so let's go to appearance themes, and this is my theme. Okay, so we don't have the no customizer.
Oui.
All right. So we can see the themes loading, and we've got our tagline and our loading, but for some reason, our customizer isn't. I'm going to just remove it from here. Go up to the top and just add the customizer section, because so it's maybe because it was trying to find that before. I'm just going to add it in the top, header. There we go. Okay, so what it was because I added the header section down the bottom here, and then I had other elements above it. So I just moved the section up to the top, so everything underneath it was nested. Does that make sense? So now we can see I've got the header section in there, got the background image, I've got the logo. And I'm not showing the email. Let's just check that that's all working there. So let's upload an image. So that's working. Let's add a logo. That's all working. So we've got that all working, but we've got no email in there working, which I'm trying to work out why that one isn't working. Hang on, why is my Zoom chat gone? So I wonder if it's because I'm replacing the content, because see how it's nested under the tagline, and I'm replacing the content of that tagline. So if I go into here and go edit code and go span class equals tagline, and end that span. So see how it's, because that took the formatting because it was under that span before. Close and keep changing. We can delete that break. Let's go save. Okay. WordPress, export the theme. And there we go. So the reason that wasn't loading is because I was replacing the content of that element with the tagline, and that span was nested. So now if we add an email, that's all working. And if we inspect that, we can see that the link is working as well. So mail to at your email at yourdomain.com. So that takes care of the header. So does anyone have any questions about doing the header? That's all pretty straightforward stuff, is it? Emma's going, yeah. Okay, all right. Now we can look onto the nav bar. Now I'm going to flip over to the phone view, and that's okay. Trying to work out which way. So the list should be in here. So what I want to do, I'm going to click on that nav bar. I'm going to go navigation, and we're going to go nav menu, and we're going to call this primary. Menu type. This looks like a bootstrap, but bootstrap isn't loaded. If we look, we've got no bootstrap loaded. But it definitely looks like a bootstrap, has all the bootstrap classes. So I'm just going to leave that blank. We'll see how it goes. I'm just going to go down, and we're going to choose the location to be primary. And I'm going to replace the content. And we'll just see how that works. So save, WordPress, export the theme. Reload. And if we look, so that's working. Let's have a look at how it looks collapsed. And nothing's working. So the collapse isn't working. Okay. So I'm going to remove the nav menu there. I'm going to take it up one. I'm going to add it in there. And all I'm going to do is just type in the location. Now, for anyone on the that doesn't know this, Pinegrow automatically adds two menus to the functions in WordPress. So one is primary and the other one is social. It automatically adds those. That's why when I add primary, it automatically gives me it automatically displays that menu. If we were creating a different menu, we would need to create that function. So if I wanted to call this main, for example, if I went and saved this, there would be no menu because I'd have to go and write the function to create that menu. Replace the content. So all I've done is I've just, so before I had it on the actual header, top of the list item, unorganized list, but I've just moved it up to the nav bar collapsed. Go and refresh, and see it's totally out of whack now. So it definitely needs to be there. So let's go into here and let's change that to Bootstrap. Let's see what happens. File, save. Okay, export the theme. Refresh. So we've got it working there. And we've still got no navigation or mobile menu. Anyone experienced can see why that might not be working? No? No one else can see it either?
I think it may be JavaScript problem. JavaScript is not loading.
Yeah.
What if you try the smart menu?
There are no console errors though. So that theoretically that should work because all I'm doing is replacing that whole list item.
can try the smart route navigation. Smart from the menu tab.
Nope. I'm just going to remove it. So now it'll be the default. So now it's the default. So it wasn't working anyway. So it's their HTML template that's not working.
Actually, I think JavaScript is not loading properly. The Bootstrap.js maybe. It is not giving error because it's not loading. Does it load Bootstrap.link.list?
I just tried the raw theme that I've downloaded and the mobile menu doesn't work on that.
So yeah, even as the default, like this. So this is that raw HTML. It's okay. So I'm going to go settings, activate Bootstrap. I'm going to Control R to reload that. I am going to go in back to the library. I'm going to go navbar. And delete. 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 Yeah, oops. All right, so what I've done is I have replaced that. Oops, hang on. Now I need to assign a navbar to it. Hang on, navbar header needs to be at the top there, doesn't it? Hang on, what's going on there? Delete. Let's just redo that again. So I've deleted the old navbar. There we go, that's why. There we go. And I'm going to delete the brand. Delete the form. There we go. All right, so there we go. I've deleted the old navbar. Where are we? Navbar, nav selection. Here we go. And I've added in a WordPress one, Bootstrap one, and now I'm going to assign that navigation. So I removed the original one, and I've added in the so we've got our header working, and now hopefully, and now we've got it working on the drop down.
Tu fais quoi?
Okay, so all I did was replaced.
On fait dire ça. Tu viens d'enlever les vêtements ou pas?
I think I used the. All I did was I replaced the.
Tu viens de mettre nu dans le lit? Tu viens de te mettre nu dans le lit?
Oh,
Presumably, if it had gone to plan, the mobile version would have been dynamic just like the desktop one.
yeah. I would think what I think might have happened was now I'm thinking about it now. If you remember, as I said, it looked like it was a Bootstrap menu, but there was no actual Bootstrap loaded. So I wonder if we actually had have loaded, if I had have actually loaded the Bootstrap, where the original menu would have just worked anyway. Because Pinegrow didn't pick up Bootstrap. Yeah, so this is going to be my page content here. So all I'm going to do is click on that, and I'm going to click on posts. Hang on, is it in post? No, loop, and we'll get the loop, and then I will go to posts, and I will just get the content, and I'm going to replace the element. So everything on that page will show up in there. The next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to click on here, and in here I'm going to create, if I can remember, is it under posts? Post, no. It's under loops, no. I'm just trying to find the, must be under site, is for register post type. Here it is. So we'll register a post type, and this post type will be services. Services. Singular will be service. This is public. It's going to support a title, the editor, the author, the thumbnail, the excerpt. It'll do. It will be allowed to be show in menu, and we get our dash icon here. So we'll go over here, we'll go dash icons. We'll find an icon to use when it's displayed in the menu. And I'm just going to go this one. That'll do. I want this to be up with the posts. So when you're looking at it in the menu, in the dashboard, I want to up in the post. I want to make that 10. And it will support category, and it will support post tag. Can I click on? Right. Okay, so what we're going to need to do now is I'm going to go down to my loop and go the loop. And we're going to custom query this, because that opens up all these other parameters. And we want to make sure that we choose custom post type is services. Do I call it services? Yep. Where did I put it? Where did I put it? There, services. And we also want to post per page. So there's 4, so I only want to show 4. And there's going to be, oh no, we want that. And I'm not going to do any order, not going to do any time. That's all I'm going to do. So now what I want to do though is if I go and do this in WordPress, this will all be duplicated. I don't want to duplicate everything. I don't want to repeat everything. I'm just going to click on this one here. And in this one, I'm going to go as a loop item. So this what will be looped. I'm going to leave these here displaying. I'm going to go down to here and I'm going to choose it as an item placeholder. So these don't get exported. Then I'm going to click back on this one. So this will be exported, and it'll be exported 4 times. So in there, we want to go up to our posts, and we want to go the title. We're going to click down to here, and we want to go the excerpt. And on here, I'm going to click on the, let's have a look at the edit code. So we've got a href in there. So what I want to do is I want to go to link, and we want to link it to the post permalink. And that's all we need to do for that. So if we go and save this and hit OK and then export the theme, if everything went to plan this time, oops, go away, stupid store. Here we go. Let's go. We've now got services up here. If we go and visit our site, that didn't work. Let's go and preview. Well, let's create some. Let's go and create some posts. Let's go back to the dashboard. We'll go. Have I got my? Let's go plugins. Install plugins. Have I got FakerPress installed? If you don't know FakerPress, if you're doing theme development, it is the best plugin you can get. And it's called FakerPress. Come on. And this allows you to create dummy content really easily, including users, categories, taglines. I mean, not custom tags, not taglines. Any questions while this is installing and activating? Did everybody know about FakerPress? It's awesome. So FakerPress, so you can go and create users, posts, comments, and terms. So I'm just going to go and quickly create some categories. So we'll create between 3 and 6. And we make it between 1 and 2 names. And we want it to be a category. You can create all these different and tags. And we just go generate. So there we go. It's faked 4 things. Now I'm going to create posts. I want to create between 6 and 8 posts. I want to change the date from this month. And I don't want it in posts. I want it to be services. I don't want any comments. I'm going to use, I'm not going to use any HTML in these contents, but you can create all these different HTML content as well. There's not going to be any featured images. I will create 100%, and I'll call it from Unsplash It. So we can choose all our stuff we just created, our custom categories and tags at 85%. So you can see we can even choose which authors they're assigned to, which would be me. And we hit generate. And you can see when you're creating posts, you can also target meta boxes. So if you use advanced custom fields, metabox.io, or you create your own meta boxes, you can even add meta box fields in here. So now if we go to services, we've got categories, we've got tags, and we've got all our services in there. But for some reason, our loop is not working.
Is it underneath all that?
Sorry?
Is it underneath all that? If you scroll back down.
No. Oh, yeah, there it is. Oh, yeah. So, where's it calling this loop from? So it's loading the, because, I know.
Is it because you did the loop twice?
No, because remember up here I'm calling the content, and I bet you, hang on, my theme, appearance, settings, reading, because I'm displaying this landing page. And if I go to my page and go all pages and go to my landing page, that's the content it's displaying. So if I was to grab that, and add that in there, here we go. So that's it. All right. So we've got our services working. And I can see my link is working, which we've only got the one HTML, the PHP template. So now we can go down to the recent works, and we can basically duplicate all of that, what we just did. So we go site, we create another post type, which we're going to call works. And I'm going to call this singular name a project rather than work, because that just, it's going to be hierarchical, it's going to be in the menu, it supports the title, the editor, it's going to support the thumbnail. That's going to be it. And we're going to go get our dash icon again. So I'm going to get that one. That looks good. Again, I'm going to put this up at position 10. And we're going to support category. We could create a custom taxonomy if we wanted to and support that, but I'm just going to use category because we could register a taxonomy here if we wanted to. Once again, we want to click on this one here, and we want to make this, the loop item, and we want to click on all of these and make them placeholders, so we don't export these. And handling the loop and handling customizer and creating custom post types, Pinegrow just makes that life so much easier. All right, so in the image, we want to go, oh, hang on. Hang on, where were we? Let's go back to that row. We registered the post type. What do I call it? Works. Now we want to go to the loop. We want to add the loop in there. The loop, and query name will be works, and custom post type will be works. Post per page is 6. Okay. All right, so the next thing we want to do is we click on here, we go to that image and we go to our post, and we want to get the post thumbnail. Now what I want to do, I'm just going to open that up, and I'm just going to have a look at that image size. So the image size is 330 by 200. So the post thumbnail will be medium size. We're going to check that it has an add as thumbnail check, and we're going to replace the element. Then we're going to click on here, and we're going to get the title. Then we're going to click on here, and in here we want to go. We want to get the categories. So that's not what we want. We want that one there. Let's just double check that. So we can go to the codex. If we go display categories for post WordPress, so it's get the category. So what we can do, copy that, go to Pinegrow, search that, and it doesn't actually exist. So I'm pretty sure it is the terms. So let's search the terms. No, terms is only, get a list of current posts categories. So that's what the PHP should look like. So it is the terms, and so the terms, so the post ID, we just copy that. I'm just going to paste that in there. We want the category. The separator will be a pipe, and we're going to replace the content. Let's go and save that. Export the theme. Because if we look at that PHP, that's exactly what we're after when we compared it to what was in the codex. So this, we don't want anything before. So that's why it's got null in there. Go save, export the theme. Okay, what's going on here? It's because I've got, Here we go. So no post matched our criteria. So let's go to our Faker Press. So let's go refresh this page. And we've got no works in there. Where's my register post type gone? Huh. My register post type disappeared.
Regarde ça. Oh, tu m'excentres.
There we go.
Hey, problem? No problem?
No problem. No problem.
Okay. No more or no problem?
There we go. Recent works. There we go. All right. So now we go back to our Faker Press. I'm going to create a post. I'm going to create. Thought someone was watching porn for a second there. And we want works.
Yes. Yeah. Regarde cette chienasse.
Recent works. There we go.
Elle était gentille de me maximum, mais.
I'm going to allow HTML. I'm going to delete, HR more. I'm just going to allow normal stuff in there. We'll make it 100%. I'm going to use unsplash it. I'm going to allow, but I don't want any tags. I want categories. Someone is watching porn.
Mon petit bébé. Sec.
Who's got their microphone open? Eric. Eric's not muted. It was like that boring. He needed to excite himself. Ah. Eric. I did one of these once, and someone didn't realize they had their webcam on, and they were sitting it on the nude. So we had to sit there and have this guy on the nude on it. It was quite funny. Anyway, so now we've generated some recent works. There we go. Let's just have a look at one. Ah. So we've got our featured image. We've got some content. Let's go and refresh this. And there we go. So we've got our recent works working. We've got our categories all working. Now I can see there's no space between the pipe, but that's okay. The other thing we need to fix, oops, where'd I go? Is the details. We need to link that. And we need to link this whole section. But other than that, these are all working. So let's go back in. And we go link. And we'll go to our link section. And we'll link that to the post permalink. And look, it's changed because when we loaded Bootstrap, they overrode the button. So that takes care of all that. Now I'm going to create a call to action, and I'm going to do this in the customizer. So I'm going to go to the customizer, add a section called call to action. And then I'm going to add in a control here, and I'm going to call this the content. I want to call this, sorry, I'm going to call this CTA content. And we're going to make this a text area. I'm going to show this in section, what section would I call it? CTA, yeah. Okay. And then I'm going to go over to here. I'm going to add a customizer control, and I want to add button text. And I'm going to make this a, we'll just leave this as text, and show in section CTA. Oh, hang on, I better go back over here and go to, I've added the customizer control, better display the theme mod. And then over here, button text, we want to display the theme mod. And then we're going to also go to, we're going to add another control. Actually, hang on, I should call this CTA button text. And we'll call this one CTA button link. And we go to URL and CTA. And then here, then we're going to go to theme mod to attribute. I'm going to call this, I'm going to cut and paste. Can't be asked typing it out. And we're going to add this to the href. So now if we go File, Save, OK, WordPress, export the theme. And we go into our customizer. Now we've got our call to action. That's working. That's working. And that's working. Now we've got all these console errors. Top. Can't read property of top under template.js.
That is there on the raw theme. The only one.
All right, okay.
So don't worry too much about that.
And so that takes care of that. Now, how do we handle the clients? What I might do is under clients, I'm going to create a custom post type. I'm going to do this. I was going to do it under, oh no, I was going to do it under a widget. I think I said at the start, but I think I'll do it as a custom post type. Go client, clients, client, public, supports, thumbnail and title only. And let's go back to dash icons. Just use the users. I don't need this. I don't care where this sits in the dashboard. I don't need it up with the posts, so I'm not going to worry about the menu position. No categories, no post tags. I'm not going to worry about any of that. So I'm going to click on here, and it's actually an image. I hate it when they do this, because what I'd have to do is delete that, and I'm going to go into thumbnail, Why is it? You know what? I think I will just leave it as a widget because they left it as a single image. Why is that not working? Why is my undo not working? Oh, there we go. So I'm wondering if I just do create that as a widget like I was going to. No post type.
Or reduce the image down to 20% wide and then have it 5 times.
What's that, sorry?
Reduce the image width to a fifth and effectively have 5 images side by side pulled in from the custom post type.
Yeah, that's what I was going to do, but it was overlapping over my footer for some reason, and I was trying to work. That's what I was trying to work out why. So it's overlapping over everything.
Or just put an image in without it being a bootstrap one.
Yeah.
Well, actually edit the image you've got, but set a width.
Cool. Yeah. Sorry. Yes. Yeah, there might be some 2 pages as well, but for the initial set, that's what we're looking at.
That didn't work.
Yeah.
No, not edit the new one you put in, edit the original one that came with the template.
That old artwork as well. All right, thank you. Oh, great. Okay, well, we'll wait to hear from you.
This one.
Yeah.
Oh, right. Okay. We'll see now. Thank you. Bye.
Actually, what if I go prop
If you edit the code for the image,
6? So, right, we go. Go. Three
yeah,
across.
that would work. Yeah, then have 4 of them.
Yeah. Well, I don't even need to add 4. I don't even add any.
No.
I just go. So then I'm just going to go. There's my custom post type gone. Then we go the loop. The loop. And we want to go clients. Is that what I called it? Yep. Clients and post per page. So I'm doing how many? What am I doing?
4.
Yeah, I did it. Yeah, 4 because I did it 3, didn't I? Post per page 4, and then we go on the image, and we go posts, and we get the post thumbnail, and we want thumbnail, and we're going to replace the content and file save. Let's see how that worked. Clients. Let's go back to my Faker Press posts. Let's create between 6 and 12 this month. Clients. Don't need comments. We want 100% images. And we'll use Unsplash it again. We don't have to worry about tags and categories. Generate. Go custom fields.
As a quick aside, does Pinegrow handle custom fields as well?
It'll handle as in calling custom fields, but it doesn't create custom fields.
So would you still use something like advanced custom fields plugins.
I use metabox.io. Yes.
Right, or toolset, or
Yeah. Yeah. So whatever your fields of choice is. For basic fields, I don't even use any of those. If I'm just doing text and things, generally I will just cut and paste the code from generate WP or WP generate, whichever way it goes.
okay.
Because they have custom post metabox generators. I could write the code, but it's just easier for me to just go in there, create it, and cut and paste it.
Yes.
So now we've got our clients. And let's refresh this. And that didn't work. Okay, so did I do the loop item? No, I didn't. Oops. So it's still showing in these for some reason. So I'm going to go in, I'm going to remove it from there and replace it to there. The thumbnail. There we go. Ah, hang on. Whoops. But
Why is it only 2?
sorry.
Why is there only 2?
Maybe because there are more than 2. It's meant to show 4. Maybe they don't all have thumbnails. Let's just double check. Settings, let's go plugins, add new, admin column. I'm trying to remember which one it is. Try that one. There you go, Metabox. That's what I use instead of advanced custom fields. I own all their premium plugins. I use them in all of my plugins, all my advanced plugins when I need to. See if that worked. It's not the one I normally use. But that worked. See, so there. So they're probably all there. But the 2 of them didn't have. There you go. So that's all it was. All pretty straightforward so far.
Pretty good.
Okay, well I see lots of people have dropped off. Do you want me to keep going? Do you want me to skip anything and just go to the next section?
I'm up for continuing if you are.
Sorry.
I'm up for continuing if you are.
All right. Okay, so now we're working on our footer. And I want to create my widget here. So in here we go sites and we go register a sidebar, to register a widget, and we'll call this the footer. We're not going to worry about anything before and after. And then this is something I've seen pop up quite a few times. Then we need to go in and we've got to go to is it template parts, and then we've got to go in and we've got to get that widget. Footer, did I call it? I'll give it footer widgets rather than footer. Footer's probably a bit too generic. And then we need to, so we register the sidebar, then we've got to display the sidebar. The other thing we could do is we could define this as a page template and then call that elsewhere, which is what you would normally do, and then use get sidebar. So you'd have a sidebar.php. But for the footer, I don't do that. But when we do the left and right, then it will. So now if I go File, Save, OK, export the theme. And we go to Appearance, Customize. So we've got nothing in here. So now if we go to widgets, we've got our footer widget. So let's add a widget. So let's get this. Where is it? Here we go. So what we want is this one here. So I'm going to add in, so I'm just going to add in, duplicate these, add them in. So we want a text. We just click it in. And it is called, what's it called? Contact. And the next thing we want is follow me. So we're going to go get that. Okay. And now we got the text widget. And should be the last one. Form widget, which is basically exactly the same as the contact widget. But what I might do, I might actually Caldera forms, new form, footer form, create. That's the There we go. So we got our form in there, and you'll notice that the shortcode didn't work. The shortcodes don't work. Is there? So we've got to add in the Caldera form. Remove that. So
Do you
you
know
have
why the shortcodes don't work?
so it's a default. It's a WordPress thing. And there's a function for it. So add shortcode support to widgets. And if you look, don't worry about using a plugin. It's just one line of text in your functions. That's it there. So that's all you have to do. Add that into your functions and shortcodes will suddenly work.
I wonder if Pinegrow has that.
No.
Right. It's for the wish list.
So, okay, so normally I have a custom function for each theme, which I link to at the end of the functions PHP that Pinegrow creates. And so I would go in my theme, I would go new file, and I would go portfolio functions.php. Okay, and in here is where I would, not that one. Let's get that raw code. In there is where I would add it. And then I would save that. And then I would go into my theme, open up the functions.php, which is normally in, and I would scroll down to the bottom and I would get require once. I just wonder if I can just copy and paste it from up here. No. I was wondering if they had a require once listed in here, but they don't. So I would add in a require once, and I would put in WCD underscore portfolio functions .php. Pretty sure that's all I need to do. Just trying to think. Require once. Yeah, that's it. And that will, so then anytime I want to change functions, I can do it straight within the HTML because that will automatically export. So if I go file, save, okay, WordPress, export the theme, it will export. So you can see it will export that. So now shortcodes would work. So that's how I generally tend to handle it, is by having this custom function. Because another one I do is I add a function which runs at initialization, which removes this.
Removes the other theme. The menu item.
Menu, yes, that's right. You talked about that on in Slack.
Yeah.
So yeah,
that's a good idea because the social ones, yeah, it's annoying.
The primary one, yeah, absolutely. If they left they called it footer, I probably would. I'd use it more. But I just can't be asked going in, scrolling through, and renaming it. It's easy for me to just copy this over to every theme. Okay. All right. So now what I want to do. So now that we've that didn't work. Oh, oops. Hang on. Oops.
Well, but but then there's
Schoolboy.
Hey, there we go. So now we've got our widgets in here. So what I want to do, that looks nothing like what is in here. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to, if I can work out how to do it. This might be under prop, no, library, no. So under here, I'm going to click on that. Oh, hang on. Oops, hang on. Yeah. I need to go up to my index. I need to paste that in my theme. File, save, okay, WordPress, export the theme. And then we can go back to our footer under our register sidebar. And we can import it. And now we have it all imported. So now we can go in and actually recreate all this styling. So what I can do is each list item, I can add a class. I can go col-md-4.
You can, it's me. You can.
If I have a footer like that, I tend to do 4 widget areas.
Do you?
Yeah, I have column 1, column 2, column 3, column 4.
Oh, I don't. I tend to just do it this way.
You do it in a single. Okay, it's interesting.
So then it's just my footer widget. So then we can go to our list item. And
what would happen then if the user added another widget item?
it would drop down on the next row.
Would it automatically take on that column 3?
Yeah, it should do.
Okay.
We'll test it.
Yeah, cool.
So you have it, so that way it could drop, if you just have multiple widgets in this one column, multiple widgets in that column, and have 4 widgets. I tend to just do this. My customers don't change their widgets, so.
Yeah, true.
So now we need to add in our list item. So, okay, all right, list item. We need to, now there is a bootstrap class for removing list item fields. I'm trying to remember what it is.
I've always done it in CSS, but it'd be good to know if there is.
No, there is a, hang on, let me find it. Let me Google it. There is bootstrap list styles. It might need to be in a group, perhaps. Yeah, so list unstyled. Yeah. Easy.
Let me grab a pen.
So I never remember these things, but I remember, I know that I need to remember that there is one, so that way I can just know, okay, Google it. I know there is one. So there we go. So that's looking
If
a
Google
lot.
ever goes, we're in trouble.
What's that?
If Google ever goes, we're in trouble.
Yeah, exactly. Hey, look, someone asked me the other week, what's the secret to being a good developer? I said, Google and cut and paste correctly. And so that takes care of that footer, that widget footer, because that's it. That's all I needed to do with that. Let's just check it. Actually, what we might need to do now, you asked me about the list item, take it on the list, take it on sidebar, take it on the coal in the coal. Because you do it in here. So you would go li class equals list unstyled coal dash nd dash 3, and then after widget close that li. So you do it in there. So really, I don't need to do it in all those list items, because it will automatically add it before each one then.
That's good.
So now if we go into here, we refresh. Fingers crossed. There we go. So if we go in and let's refresh this one. So if I go in and add another widget now, calendar. So it drops below that row. And we'll add another widget. Let's add categories.
I know you've got a coal 3 within a coal 3. Or have you? No, you haven't.
Nope. So,
cool.
Okay. So that's how I do it.
Yeah, I like that.
All right. So let's go and refresh. So I don't have those other two there. All right, and the last thing we want to do is the customizer. Sorry, not the customizer, the actual footer copyright. And that's pretty straightforward. I'm just going to go down here. I'm going to go into my customizer and add a section. I'm going to call this footer. I'm going to go footer. And then I'm going to click on here. I'm going to add a control. And I'm going to call this address. I'll call this, oh, that'll do. Address. And this will be a text. Show in section, in footer. And then we go display the theme mod. And what do I call it? Address. And we'll replace the content. Then I'll click on this one and I'll add another control and I'll go copyright. Go away caps locks. And once again, that'll be a text. I'm going to change this to a text area. And this will also be in the footer. And then we'll display the theme mod. File, save, okay, export the theme, refresh. We now have a footer. Let's check that it's all working. Copyright 2016. All rights reserved. Let's add a line break. West Coast Digital Pty Limited. And there we go. So it's all working. Let's check the address is working. Perth, West. It's not working. Perth, Western Australia. Done. Easy. as I was saying earlier, the Our Carousel plugin would probably be ideal for clients if you wanted to be able to scroll left and right and add more in. Yeah, I'm not a big fan of slideshows and sliders and scrollers, and I don't mind animation effects. So I don't mind having all this fade in and fade down and appear as it goes. But yeah, having slideshows, not a fan. And that wraps up the homepage.
Good stuff.
Okay. So next one, we're going to do the page. We need to do the page.php. So I'm just going to open that file, and we're going to open page. Now, this one here, I'm not going to change the header. I think I'm going to leave it as the same header. The difference between it though, oh, hang on, that's right, it doesn't call in that image, does it? Which we didn't have displaying over here. Header, that's because I don't have one in there. Check. Yeah. So that's why. Okay. Don't know that styling at all. Did it lose styling? Anyway. So the page has a different header. So it has the same menu, but it's because we've lost this. So that's meant to be parallax. Well, anyway, so what we need to do so the footer is all going to be the same. But the header is going to be different. Now, there are a couple of ways we could do this. One way is copy everything from not define this as its own master page, and then it calls its own header and its own footer. Another option we could do is just edit the theme after export. So we could redo this whole. No, that'll be right. No, that's what we'll do. Okay. All right. So let's close index. Under page, we once again want to activate Bootstrap, activate WordPress, and we're going to go in and create this site. This is a master page. And hang on, let's just open that index.html again. So, we'll give it all the same tasks, everything the same. All right, we'll go and save this. Now, when we export this, okay, when we export this, if we go to our theme, reload this folder, we should have, no?
Oh, you haven't done the set content to do the header and footer.
Ah, that's why. Okay, yep. So we go in and we go get header footer. Now we save it. and export the theme. Now we've got header page, and we've also got footer page. So basically it's calling a different header and a different footer.
That means you're going to have to redo the nav again.
Cool. Yeah. But because we're loading Bootstrap, I'm just going to go in here. I'm going to go see if this works this time. So in here we click on site.
I'll tell you something I did on a site recently. Use conditionals on the header.
I tend to just edit after the fact. So what I would normally do, let's go, this is how I would normally do it.
So I think the way I did it, I did two headers, one above the other, and then add a conditional. If homepage, use this one. If not homepage, use that one. And that way it all was still wrapped up in the header footer template.
You can, but the other thing you can do is under your theme. So under the theme, where are we? Under the you can just go in and where are we? Index.html. Oh, why am I? Open folder. Oops, cancel file. Open folder. And let's open the actual theme. And under the just get header page. So that's all you have to do is add that in there. So you could just create a whole new a page just for that and call it. So what you could do is delete that. And where's my footer one? No, it's in there. Delete that. We could go new file, home. Oh, sorry, it has to be header, and then the header type .php. Get the header.php. Copy that. Put that in there, and then under header, there we've got that image, which is that logo. No. Image. End if. We delete that. And then under index, we just go home. So then we could just go in and now we can just go in and create the theme and not worry about any of the header. So all I need to do is I just need to clean this up. The same as we did before. Actually, I don't even need to. I just click on there. Oh, hang on. So we go index.html. And then we click on main. We get header, get footer. And then on here, we just click on get the we go the loop. And we can just leave it as default. And we can go up to posts and we go the content and we replace the whole element. So now if I export that, I think that worked. So we've got our home page working. Okay. My sample page being loaded as my home page. That didn't work. Because every time I do it in here, it gets overridden.
Because you're in brackets, not.
Yeah, that's right. No, because I'm editing the theme, so it's getting overridden in the theme.
Yeah.
So you would do it after. So now that I've done that, you would do it after. So the home page has the image, and the other one doesn't. And then on the index, you get header home. Unexpected end of file header on line 44. Why did that do that?
You deleted an end if earlier on.
Yeah, but that was checking if there was an image, wasn't it?
You didn't delete. You deleted the end if, but you didn't delete the if.
Oh, okay. Where's the if? Oh,
If
there it is.
image attributes.
Yeah. That's what it is.
Or not.
Or not. What if I just delete the image then? There we go. But I think I've lost all my. Right? Because now my home page is displaying my page. My page.php. See?
Right.
If we go to the WordPress hierarchy, which I have this printed and laminated right in front of me. We need a front page.php. The site static front page. Here we go. So now it's showing the as the static front page. Did you know you saw what I did then?
Yep. Yeah, that makes sense.
So because it was, I could have probably called it home.php as well, but I didn't, which would have covered the same. But then I could create a home.php, and if they choose between displaying the blog posts, then I could have it different than the index or the front page.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I go for that's why I choose to go for the front page. Okay.
Yeah.
And now if I've done this right, we've got no image. But when we go to index, we do. Okay. All right. The other thing I want to do, delete, is, which is homepage is not linked to homepage, which is starting to annoy me. Oh. Okay, that's better. So we've got our page working, because that's all the way the content's working. We've got our home page working. And if we look on the page, we've still got everything there but the logo. So we've got all our headers all working. So now we want to work on what I want to do is well, hang on, pages are working. Did I do content, did I? Yeah, I did. Yep, I must have. Under page. No? Yeah, I have. Yeah, delete the content. Yeah, I did that. Yeah. That's why that's all working. Okay, all right. So I can get out of that. I can get out of that. Now we're going to open the single.html, which is our post. So once again, we don't have to worry about the footer or anything in here. So we just click on main. We want to first go to here, go settings, add Bootstrap, add WordPress. And this is not a master page. We will use single.html. No, page.html. We're working on single. Okay, and so here we want to go the loop, and we want to go, oops, and we want to go up to the post, and we want to add, no, that's all we need to do. We click on the date, and we want to go to, it's not get the date, is it? The date. And we want to show the, where is it to get the date? I'm sure it's the date. And so we've got to want to have a look at our different formats. So I'll go this WordPress date format, date and time, and the codex. So we can see that how it all works. So LFJ. So we want, oops, full date, full month, the day, comma, year. Okay, so we want, whoops, the full month is capital F. So capital F. Then we want the numerical date, numerical day, with the, we want, I'm going to go the to date format. So I want D. Then we want a comma, and then we want the 4 numerical year. So year is a capital Y for the 4 digits. So that's how we do the date field. Then we want the title. The title, and we want to link that. So we go link. I don't know why they're linking that. This is the post page. We don't need to link that. It doesn't make sense. But we'll leave it as a link because then it will hover and give us the underline and hover. And then we want the post thumbnail. and I'm going to make that large because it will fit to the column width. I want to add a class, image responsive, which is a bootstrap class. We will add has thumb check. Then we want to go to, we've got all these paragraphs here. I'm just going to click on the first one here, and I'm going to click on that, and I'm going to get the content, and we'll replace the element. It won't let me, I don't know why. And then here we can either delete these, which is what I'm going to do, just delete these all one by one, or you could just go in and mark them as do not export, but I'm just going to delete them. Now the comments. This is the death of me. I always struggle. There are two things I struggle with my WordPress themes. One is my comments, and the other is pagination. Does my heading. But anyway, let's give this a crack. So, all right. So under here, I'm going to try and work out how to do this. We'll add in a loop. I think I need to add a loop. I'm pretty sure I need to add a loop. We'll go to posts, and we'll go, I think it's under the loop. No.
There's a comment section.
Yeah, yes. I just circled it. So we could create a template for the comments, so we don't have a comments template. So we can list comments, which is what I'm going to do here. I'm just going to go list comments. And that's what it will look like. And I'm happy with that. I'm going to leave it at that. Then I'm going to go to, then we go to here. And we go previous comments link.
No, that's if you're viewing an individual comment.
Is it? Okay.
Oh, I don't know.
Well, I'm going to put it there.
There's pagination section.
And I will go add, could I remember? And then I'm going to, on this one, and I'm going to add next comments link. And comments title goes there. And then down here, we go to the form, and we go comment form. And let's see if this worked. WordPress, export the theme. And it's going to override my changes, of course. Oh no, I won't select anything. Save. Okay. And so now if I go, okay, so I can delete that because it adds it in. This is a comment. Because I'm logged in, it's not displaying the full form. And I can delete this one up here. What I want to do, I'm going to go to One thought. Oh, hang on. Oh, what's going on there? Maybe I don't need to add the loop.
No wonder it took a while to load.
Yeah. File, save. Okay. WordPress, export. Okay. Refresh. But it's not displaying my comment. Maybe because...
Did you add that?
What?
I'm not sure you added the output of the comments. Maybe you did.
Yeah, it's automatically approved because it was mine. I didn't think so. I thought I did. I thought, yeah, I did.
Maybe I missed that. Oh, yeah, you did.
Told you it's always the death of me. Yeah, so that should all work. Give it a style of div, perhaps. Post per page, let's make it 5. Format, let's make it HTML5. Okay,
Maybe replace the element, replace the content. No, it would be the element.
Okay. Well, that's a list item, so let's make it lists. Unordered lists. Save. Okay. WordPress, export the theme. Okay. There it is. So it's there now. This is a comment.
Excellent. What was the crucial bit? Do you know?
I gave it a style. I can delete that. I gave it a style and a format, I think.
I reckon it's the per page.
Yeah, maybe because I've added older and newer comments in there. But now and I've got rid of that leave a reply. There's only one there now. So that's fine. That's all working. If I logged out,
Piece of cake.
yeah. Now I'm going to remember. And yeah, the full form is there now.
Just need some formatting, but
Yeah, I'm not going to do that for this. You should be able to do that.
Another 6 hours would be fine.
You bring it in exactly the same way with your magic wand. So you can format it, bring it back in from your WordPress site, and then restyle it.
Yeah.
Which I'm not going to teach you CSS to style it. So that takes care of, so we've taken care of the posts, we've taken care of the page. The last thing I wanted to show, I'm going to open sidebar left. And I'm going to open this aside here. Oh, actually, hang on. The one thing we need to do is under this div container, should be like body class. There is also a class for post class. Okay, so I just want to add that in there as well.
Why?
Because if we look at the WordPress codecs. It gives us the IDs. It gives us the post ID, the post type, whether it's published, what sort of format it is. Gives you some categories in there. So some plugins may target that.
Okay. Yeah.
All right. So yeah. So I add those in. All right. Generally, I have an article tag when I design a theme. I wrap it in an article, the actual post in an article tag, and that's where I assign that class to the article tag.
Got you.
So yeah, date's displaying all right. Okay. All right. Last thing I was showing you, that's right. I brought in the left sidebar. So we bring in the aside. Now, first thing we're going to do is add in our Bootstrap, add in our WordPress, click close, and we add in a site, and this one is going to be single.html as the master page. And then I'm going to jump straight down to here, into main, and we will split the get header, get footer, and then I'm going to go to the sidebar. I'm going to where is it? Where is my sidebar? Register sidebar. 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 Widgets.
Incidentally, this is being recorded, isn't it?
Pardon?
This whole session's being recorded and will be available later.
Ooh, did I start recording? I can't remember.
It says recording top left.
Oh, does it? Okay, then yes, it is. Well, I don't know how long it'll take me to get it uploaded though.
Oh, does it record locally on your machine?
Sorry?
It's recording locally
Yes.
on your machine.
Yeah.
So I'd Shay, one of the other participants, has asked.
Oh, yes, it's being recorded, yes. Yeah, so what was I doing? Register the sidebar. Register the sidebar. Then we need to get the sidebar. Now, this is where we would create we could create a sidebar .php if we wanted to, and then just call that, but I'm not going to with this. And dynamic sidebar. And so that's that. And then I'm going to click on this one here. And we go the loop. And we go up here. We go, click on here. And we get, go add a site. We want post the title. And also up here, I want to add in the post class. And in the title, we've got the title. And then I'm going to click on this one. And we go the content. And then I'm going to delete all the rest. And what I want to do is I want to, not in the loop, I want to define template part. Okay, so this one will be called left sidebar. I think that's right. Yes, I'm pretty sure that's right. File, save. Okay, then we export the theme. And now when we go into pages and we go add a new page, we don't have it. Why don't we have it? It is define template part, isn't it?
Hang on, you were looking at parent.
Sorry, no. It's define page template.
Define template. That's it.
Up here. Up here. There we go. Left.
And also there's a forward on it.
Save. Okay. Same. There we go. And now we can have a left sidebar. And if we go into, and then if we go into Customizer and go widgets, oh, maybe I need to create that page first. No? Register sidebar, and we got the sidebar.
Okay.
So should that enable you to put different widgets on that template?
All right, thank you. See you.
Pardon?
Bye.
Is that should enable you to put different widgets on that template? So
Yeah,
how
but
it should work.
there's no widget, it's not being recognized.
That's how it should. That's what should happen.
Yeah, so so now if I view that, I should have a left sidebar here. If I add widgets to it. Ah, yeah, this is there now. It's just taking a while. So there we go.
Gotcha.
So we could do the same. So now we do the same. If we wanted to add a right sidebar.
The easier way would be to edit the left and just reverse the
Yeah.
order in the tree.
Just drag it over.
Yeah.
Say that, but yeah. But I won't go through and do it. I'll just leave that as that. That's
Yeah.
pretty straightforward stuff. And so then the last thing you would want to do is let's delete that column there. Delete that. Let's make that column full width. And let's delete that image. We'll leave that one. We'll get rid of that one, that one, that one, that one, and that one. And we will edit this code, edit text. Just close that one, close that one. And input. try that again. Okay, so now we want to go, we want to close, delete that. WordPress site, this is, so we want this one to be page.php, HTML. This is not a master page, sorry. Page.html. We want to go to our main and we get header, get footer, and we go file, save as, 404.html, save. Okay, WordPress, export the theme. Okay, so the search form didn't work very well, but that's creating a 404 page. So let's see what happened there. Maybe I just replaced that whole thing rather than a group. There we go. So that would be a that's a basic 404 page. Now, if we search, we get this. And the reason we get this is because we haven't created a search HTML. So you need to create a search. So if we go open file, actually if we go cancel, we go file, save as, search.html. Delete this, and we can delete the input group. What we can do is we can go we can delete the thumbnail. We can delete that button. And then there we go, WordPress. Have we got that? So we go the loop. And from there we want to go the title. And there we go the excerpt. We can go prop and we go read more. And then we go links, ref, and we go post permalink. Okay, and that should be a basic search then. There we go. That's a basic search form then. So if I go back to here, let's go, hang on, let's go on the dashboard. Let's have a look at some posts. Let's look at another. So we'll go here, we'll go. And there we go. So that is all working. So it's very basic search list. You could probably put in up here WordPress search codex, creating a search page. There's a template tag called get search query, which is probably what I was thinking. No. No. Yeah, here. So it is get search query. So what we could do is under here we could go under library, let's add a paragraph. So where are we? Edit code. No, don't want that. We want. Okay, so under here, now we can go get, so all I've done is added a paragraph. Just open that up again for you. So all I did was added a paragraph, and in that paragraph there was a span called search query. So that search was the search query. So we're going to WordPress, we'll go the search query, and there it is. All right, so that's all we do, and we just click that on there. Attribute set. What is attribute set? There is no attribute set. Because there are no attributes. Oh, we'll just put that, save. Okay. Also, I can go in here, I can add rule, no, not in there, and the style sheet, add rule, search query, and we will go font weight, bold. It's just showing you search for search. So I don't know why, but what we could do is if we go into search, because this is live. Oops, that's why I need to. Export. Wonder why that's not working. That is working. Another. Hang on. Hang on. Because I put that in the wrong spot. There we go. It's in there now. There we go. So I ended up hard coding it in Atom. I don't know why Pinegrow is asking for an attribute for the search query. But if you look at the codex, there is no attributes for the search query.
I think it was asking for attribute where to assign it to rather than. I don't know why. That's what
Generally, as a rule, an attribute would be something that would go between those brackets, like like that. That's an attribute. I don't know why.
No.
I'll question that with Emmanuel. He'll probably know. I think that's about it.
Excellent.
I think that pretty much wraps up this little tutorial run through.
That's good.
You get much out of it?
Very much. Yeah. It's interesting to see other people's way of doing things. So, and there's a few little nuggets that are handy.
I said I'm new to the whole Pinegrow thing, and
I got it. I haven't used it much until about last couple of months.
Yeah, same as me. Were you a Headway user?
Yeah.
There's quite a few Headway users that have come across
Yeah.
in the last couple of months. I haven't used Headway for 18 months, 2 years nearly.
Really?
Yeah, I ditched them a long time ago.
Right. No, I did only a couple of months ago.
I made the mistake of buying Headway 4.
Oh, right.
So, yeah, okay.
Yeah.